welcome to Spellbound Homestead. My name is Taylor. This is where Laura Ingalls meets Morticia Adams, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today in this video, I want to take the time to do some fall movie recommendations for you and also just revisit some of my favorites. And I thought it'd be just a fun, cozy little chat talking about movies. I'm going to be sharing 5 of those with you today. Fall is one of those times I love watching movies and getting into the autumnal spirit. It's also really fun to watch movies outside or like on a projector or just sitting up on a laptop outside. It's a really fun way to get into the autumn and fall spirit and to share with you some of my favorites. So today I'm going to be focusing on 5 of them. If you have any fall recommendations below for fun, cozy, or autumnal movies, please leave those down in the comments below and we can swap movie recommendations. So go ahead and grab your cup of coffee, tea, or beverage of choice and let's chat about it. These movies are classics, movies that you may have heard of or already watched, but it's always fun to kind of revisit those movies during this time of the year. So one of my favorites, and the first one on this list, is When Harry Met Sally. This is one of my favorite romantic comedies. I love the cast. It's just one of those quintessential funny movies, and I also love the autumnal scenery and just atmosphere in this movie. So if you haven't watched it before, just a brief overview. Harry and Sally meet during college and they have to go on a car ride together, and during this car ride, Harry tells Sally that men and women can never be friends, and so she kind of remembers this in the back of her mind as time goes on. Years later, they ran into each other again, and a friendship slowly starts to form throughout the course of this movie. And the age-old question is, can men and women really just be friends? And so this movie is hilarious. I love Billy Crystal's humor in this movie. This is, if I had to suggest a movie that was my sense of humor, Billy Crystal in this movie is it. It's very dry, very funny, and it's just one of those great romantic comedies that I love to revisit year after year. This movie I vividly remember watching when I was younger, and it's one of my favorites. This is Stepmom. We have Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon. Julia Roberts in this movie has recently become a stepmother to Susan Sarandon characters' children. And so this whole movie is following the family along as they go through hardships together as a family, and also as Isabel, which is Julia Roberts' character's name, as she becomes a stepmother, and how that looks for her as she is becoming integrated into this family. This is such a great movie about motherhood and female friendships, or just female relationships. This movie has the most beautiful, like early 2000s, late 1990s vibe. I love the fall foliage in this movie, the atmosphere. One of the scenes that stands out to me the most is during a school play, and so it really just has that nostalgic feel for me whenever I watch this movie, and it's also tearjerker, so go ahead and grab your tissues as you watch this movie. So yes, this is also one of my favorites. Next movie on my list is October Sky. Now this movie I haven't watched in quite some time, so I'd love to revisit this year, but this has a young Jake Gyllenhaal and Laura Dern. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Homer Hickman, who's a real person. This movie is based on a true story. He is living in a coal mining community. His family are coal miners, and that's just what they do. They live in a very rural community. And Homer and his friends, called the Rocket Boys, they become inspired to learn and create rockets whenever the Sputnik 1 launches. And so this movie follows him as he's learning about this and coming into this new interest, but also crossroads where he has to figure out, how do I follow my passion whenever I'm feeling like I have to follow in my family's footsteps in this type of community that we're in. And so this is just a great movie, beautiful scenery, wonderful story, and I cannot wait to revisit it this year. This movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox. I recently just watched this for the first time with my children, and it was so cute. This movie is directed by Wes Anderson, and this movie follows Mr. Fox. In the beginning of the film, he is a bandit who is a thief, and he has to leave all that behind because he finds out that his wife is expecting a baby, and so he integrates into this life of 9 to 5 family man, but inside he still feels the instinct to be his true self, which is a fox, and how that instinct comes to the table as these events start to unravel. I'm trying not to give too much away, but the scenery is so beautiful. I love the way that this movie is animated. It looks like fall just throughout the movie. The colors, the beautiful scenery, the landscapes, absolutely gorgeous, and it's just a really cute and fun family movie. The last movie that I'm going to be sharing with you, I also haven't watched in a couple years, but I absolutely love this movie, especially when I was a teenager, and that is Dead Poets Society. We have Robin Williams, who comes to this school, which is like a boarding school for boys, and he is a new English teacher to some of the students who we see, like Ethan Hawke, a young Ethan Hawke in this movie, and other actors. And he is the kind of teacher that the boys have never experienced. He's all about living life and the beauty of life, and not just, you know, the grind and the hustle of trying to get through school, and just finding the beauty in living. And so we follow these boys as they're coming to this age of understanding what it means to just live and be a human and have the human experience, while their teacher is there and teaching them about poetry. They form a secret club where they read poetry together. It does end in a bit of a sad way, so go ahead and grab your tissues, but it's such a beautiful movie, and it's just a great reminder of what really is important in life. That's going to be all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and got some movie recommendations, or was reminded of some movies that you may have watched in the past that you would like to revisit this fall season. If you have any movie recommendations that you would like to leave in the comments, please feel free to do so. Like and subscribe on your way out, and as always, I hope you have a magical day.